Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. Finally, that time of the year has come when we will start having our discussion on the yearly predictions, yearly theme for the year 2025. Now guys, if I were to summarize this word in one line, I would say what a year it is. Year filled with camaraderie, brotherhood and humanitarianism. Your inner light is going to be getting awakened this year. So guys, before we will get into the customized results specific to your rising sign, we will try to understand that how major planets are going to be behaving in this year. So definitely we will first start with how the Hindu lunar year calendar calculations is saying something for this year. So guys, our Hindu calendar, like generally the new year starts from the Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, which as per in the year 2025 is going to be beginning on the March 30th of 2025. Now it is important to know because through this we will get to know that who is going to be the king of this year. So like the Hindu calendar, which will start from the March 30th of 2025 and will be there till April 4th 2026. So during this year, because it is going to be falling on a Sunday, so the king of the year is going to be the planet Sun, and the Mantri, the minister of this year, is going to be the planet Moon. Now guys, whenever Sun and Moon somehow take the precedence over there, you will definitely find a synchronicity between the ruler and the masses. Second thing is that we also get to know a little bit about the year from the Samvatsar calculation as well. Like the way this year, which is filled with, like the year 2024, which is filled with war, and just from the Hindu calendar calculation, a lot was already predicted by many Vedic astrologers because the minister, the king, the Samvatsar was angry, Krodhi, minister, king was also Saturn and Mars. Now if I were to talk about for this Samvatsar, the name of the Samvatsar is Vishwa Vasu. So that also tells about prosperity, taking care of the people. Like the way it has been believed that those people who are born even in this Samvatsar, they tend to demonstrate very virtuous qualities. So far we got to know from the Hindu calendar calculation that during this year there is going to be a synchronicity between the sun, the primal light and the moon with our subconsciousness, the collective way of thinking and behaving. Along with that guys, now if you want to understand it from what numerology has to say, so year 2025, if you're going to be making a sum total of it, so you will get the universal year as the number 9. Now guys, in numerology, 9 is somehow connected with the brotherhood, which is connected with the philanthropy and humanitarianism. So all these are the qualities which will somehow be taking a precedence. Second thing is that even if you want to understand somehow the theme of this year, so you have to go down the memory lane, like the way the very last time when we have had this universal year, it was in the year 2016. You will make a sum total, you will get the number 9. Now even the highlight or the theme of that year was, people say that okay, number 9 has got something to do with leaving, with finishing, ending all those things which are not serving any purpose. Now what was the major highlight of the year 2016? Brexit. We all know about UK leaving European Union, and like the way in the US elections, Russia was being involved for the spying and all. So somehow similar theme can also repeat over this year. But guys, the good part is that public is going to be a part of whatever the people in the power are going to be behaving. There is definitely going to be a unison, a harmony over there. So that is all what I can say from the Vedic calculation, from the numerology. Now we will try to look at how the three major players in this year are going to be behaving. First is the planet Saturn, then planet Jupiter, and then our favorite Rahu and Ketu. So guys, Saturn is going to be transiting in the sign of Pisces on March 30th. Now how can you look at this transit? So guys, the highlight of this transit is going to be, it will definitely take our attention towards the concerns of spiritual growth, intuitive insight, emotional maturity, karmic resolution. You will definitely find that many people are going to be talking about spirituality, about mental health, about their rights. And guys, the good part is that, trust me, I will not be surprised if this year you will witness many cult group which will be coming into forefront, because along with this, Rahu is also going to be making a foray in the Aquarius, a typical sign of bohemia, of humanitarianism. So like the way there used to be a time in the 60s when there was a wave of the hippie culture, so the world could expect the same wave of rising cult and hippie culture in the year 2025 as well, because we cannot overlook that you have to study everything in synchronicity with the numerology vibration as well. And number 9 has got a lot to do with the giving away things, where you do not get too much interest in that rat race of the materialism. So combining Saturn's presence in the Pisces along with the numerology vibration, Rahu's presence, definitely spirituality and a new age spirituality is going to be the highlight of the year 2025. Along with that guys, Saturn from over here, from the Pisces sign, is going to be giving its third aspect to the Taurus sign. Now definitely Saturn's third aspect is always a very restraining force, so it can definitely pull many investors are going to be pulling out their money from the market. The global market or economy could be little bit restrained in the year 2025. From over here, Saturn is going to be giving its straight aspect to the Virgo sign. So healthcare will definitely experience a boost in the year 2025, where you will definitely find the governments, and this could be United Nations, and all these organizations are going to be very accountable, very responsible towards any of the health crisis. Like there is a very less kind of possibility of any pandemic kind of situation which the world has witnessed when Rahu was transiting in the Gemini in 2019, 2020, which we have witnessed all of that. Along with that, Saturn is going to be giving its 10th aspect, the aspect with which it rewards us for our good karma. So with its 10th aspect, Saturn is going to be looking at the Sagittarius sign. So one thing is for sure guys, that next year, if let's say for example, you are a kind of person who is known for integrity, ethics, values, morals, and you somehow hold this potential to educate, enlighten and inspire the world, and if you're actually consistently, diligently working hard in that direction, so Saturn's transit in the Pisces will definitely reward you. So somehow this transit and its highlight or theme is going to be that all those people who are unconditionally doing something which is very voluntary work, some sort of social work, who are devoted towards the awakening of the inner spiritual light, healthcare related concerns and all, those people are definitely going to be getting benefited in the year 2025 because of the blessing and grace of the planet Saturn. Now guys, the global events which you have to watch out for because of the contribution of the planet Saturn is going to be the water related disaster, increased regulation of pharmaceutical and healthcare industries, breakthrough in marine biology, oceanography, aquatic technologies, growing social movements for emotional intelligence, mental health awareness and spiritual freedom, economic shift in industries related to art, entertainment or spirituality. When we talk about which sectors or people are definitely going to be getting benefited because of the contribution of the planet Saturn, so you will definitely see that there is going to be innovative solutions for the ocean conservation in the year 2025, advancement in the holistic healthcare, global unity through shared spiritual or cultural experiences, increased empathy in international relations, renaissance of traditional art forms and cultural heritage. And guys, like every year from July 13th till November 27th, Saturn is going to be retrograde in the Pisces sign only, which will definitely somehow give it more chasteable. You will definitely have the power of effort, power of endurance to fortify the intent, or this could be the humanitarian intent with which you will be working when Saturn is going to be transiting in the, and it is going to be retrograde in the Pisces sign. Now guys, when we talk about from the point of view of the planet Jupiter, the planet of blessing, good fortune, expansion, Jupiter is the planet which gives us hope, optimism and prosperity in all areas of our life. Now Jupiter is definitely in a very sensitive situation, rather I would say it's in a rush to finish its stay or its transit in the Gemini. Because guys, Jupiter is going to be transiting in the Gemini sign on like May 13th. From May 13th, like imagine it will enter the Cancer sign on October 19th. Now definitely it is going to be turning retrograde again on November 12th, and then again it will enter back in the Gemini in the December 5. But my concern over here is that imagine the pace of Jupiter from May 13th till October 19th. So the point which I'm trying to say over here is that Jupiter's placement and its transit in the Gemini will give results in a very fast paced way. Whatsoever Jupiter's promise is going to be in the Gemini, in your chart, in your life, you will get the results in a very fast paced way. And let's say for example, if you have already important inner planets being placed in the Gemini in your natal chart, you are also in the Jupiter Dasha, experience a blast of the results when in next year from May 13th till October 19th. Now for all those people who are in any capacity connected with the fields of technology, sales, media, networking, communication, these are among those people who will definitely get benefited next year when Jupiter is going to be transiting in the Gemini sign. So guys, some of the probable outcome could be in the form of the explosion of the information. It is going to be extremely blessed time for the creators in year 2025. You will definitely experience a breakthrough in artificial intelligence, robotics and cyber security, advancement in 5G, 6G, quantum computing, and social media will evolve like the way no one would have imagined. And there is definitely going to be virtual and augmented reality advancements which we all will be experiencing in the year 2025. And now guys, finally our favorite Rahu and Ketu. So in the month of May, around May 19th only, Rahu is going to be transiting in the sign of Aquarius and Ketu is going to be transiting in the Leo sign. Now guys, the good part about this placement is that we cannot even overlook that this axis is little bit karmic in nature as well. In the original Kal Purush Kundli, Leo is the sign or fifth house is connected with the past life merits, Pur Punya as well. Within the Leo sign, you will find somehow the own nakshatra ruled by Ketu, which is the Magha. In the Aquarius, you will find in the core, in the heart of the Aquarius, you will find the nakshatra ruled by the planet Rahu, which is the Sadbhisha. So that means somehow they have got very strong affinity whenever Rahu is in the Aquarius and Ketu is transiting in the Leo. So that in itself means, guys, let's say for example, if you have sown seeds for being recognized, this year can grant you that sort of popularity, that sort of fame. If you are completely dedicated and devoted towards I always get confused with this word, revolutionizing the face of technology, this year can give you a chance for that. If you have those humanitarian intent to give back to the society, make world a better place. Irrespective of judging someone's caste, creed, color, bringing the world together, this year can grant you that sort of platform, that sort of voice, that sort of position to influence or change the world. And definitely guys, with Ketu's placement in the Leo sign, you will definitely have got some sort of expertise which you will demonstrate or manifest in your life in this year. So guys, after getting a brief idea about all the planets behaving in this year, how our Vedic Chaitra Shukla Pratipada New Year calendar calculation is predicting, and also getting a brief idea from the synopsis from the numerology, now we will shift our discussion customized to your rising sign and the yearly predictions for the year 2025. So friends, now we will shift our discussion to the customized results for the Virgo rising natives. So before we will dive deep into that, how all houses in your natal chart is going to be behaving or receiving the blessings from the planets in this year, I just want to wish all the Virgo natives a very happy new year. My best and the heartiest wishes that all of your wishes shall come true this year. So okay guys, now to begin with, first I will tell you that the kind of theme which I have written for you guys as a synopsis or encapsulated summary of this year for you people. So a very busy and socially active year where the majority of the planetary energies are operating at the right areas of your life. So guys, like the way we say this thing, that the slow moving planets, they're like certain houses where if the planet is going to be transiting, it is somehow in a very comfort zone. Zodiac sign just tells about that, okay, how and in which capacity, which style planet is going to be functioning. But it's the nakshatra, it's the house from where result gets generated. So I mean to say, you are definitely going to be in a very right place, or I would say in a position of advantage. All the Virgo natives are definitely going to have this leverage or position of advantage this year compared to other zodiac signs. So a very busy and socially active year where the majority of the planetary energies are operating at the right areas of your life. Ketu, planet of moksha, in the house of moksha, where it will enter on May 19th in your 12th house. Rahu, planet of diplomacy, adventure and challenges, in the house of challenges in the 6th house. Saturn, the planet of masses, in the house of public dealing. So again, majority of the planets seems to be in a strengthened state. Like rather guys, in this whole discussion for all the rising signs, I've been saying this thing, that Mars somehow is going to be spending a lot of time in the Cancer sign, in the state of its debilitation, in the Gemini as well. In your case, the Cancer sign also falls in your 11th house. So in a way, planets are definitely hard bent in creating favorable circumstances for you. Along with that guys, so in short, this year is harmonious for the Virgo natives rather than being conflicting. This year is capable of giving majority of the lifetime things, like the way, for example, getting married or attainment of position, promotion, foreign settlement, success in the competitive exams, success in lawsuit, etc. Now guys, we will shift to the individual houses. Now talking first about your first house, ascendant, which tells about your health, which tells about your public image, which tells about overall undertakings of your life. So the points which I have written for your first house is, ascendant will be receiving the straight aspect of planet Saturn from March 30, when Saturn will enter your 7th house. So health needs to be guarded. Heavy, hard-hitting, community serving work will be expected from people who will be presiding over public offices. So definitely guys, like if you are in any capacity, you are in a field where through you, via making you a medium, community can be served, humanity can be served. So this is what Saturn will expect out of you. And these all are the combinations only where Saturn actually makes people or anoint them in the top position and all. So yes, health needs to be guarded, and some heavy, hard-hitting and community-serving work will be expected from people, Virgo natives, who will be presiding over any important positions. Now, Ketu leaving your ascendant on May 19th and Saturn leaving your 6th house on March 30th will be a big relief for the Virgo natives. Definitely guys, a lot many times it has been seen that Ketu's transit over the first house actually makes native people go through a lot many times. I've seen people who remain subjected to natural disaster, getting struck and some calamity was supposed to happen and you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, animal attack or that sort of being lost, identity crisis. So I mean to say, and along with that, with Ketu in the first house, Saturn was also there in your 6th house, putting a lot of pressure in the life. So somehow this year, like after the mid of the year, you will definitely start finding that relief which you have been seeking out for. So Ketu leaving your ascendant on May 19th and Saturn leaving 6th house on March 30th will be a big relief for the Virgo natives. Any existential crisis or identity crisis created by Ketu will stop bothering them. Now guys, the third point which I have written for you is that your ascendant lord will be transiting from 5th and 6th house in the month of February, which will be good for competitive exams, academic goals and for service professionals. March, especially April and the May, is very sensitive for your public image and health, as ascendant lord is going to be debilitated, retrograde in a war zone in the 7th house. And in the month of June, your ascendant lord is going to be transiting from the 9th and the 10th house, which is good for like travels and career developments. Your ascendant lord's transit in the 11th house and the 12th house, especially when it is going to be transiting in the 12th house in the months of like July, August, September, like it is going to be getting conjunct with Ketu as well. So it will have mixed connotations. I mean to say like here, because I'm summarizing 3 months, July, August, September. So I mean to say, I'll say it again. In the months of July, August, September, your ascendant lord is going to be transiting from your 11th house and the 12th house. So it is going to be good for networking, travels and spiritual austerities. The months of October, November and December is good for public image, branding and more financial opportunities. Now guys, moving to your second house, which tells about your finances, which tells about your family ties, which tells about your inculcated values and all. So the points which I have written over here is that your second house is going to be receiving the aspect from the planet Jupiter as well this year. So Jupiter's aspect to this house will ensure it to be a very good year for financial inflows and having cordial relationship with the loved ones. Now definitely Jupiter is going to be transiting in your 10th house only on the May 13th. But after that, your second house will be in the positive benefic aspect or influence of the planet Jupiter. Now certain months, so January, February, transit of your second lord, which is the planet Venus, is going to be from a friendly sign in the 6th house, and then getting exalted in the 7th house is good for spending money on health, well-being, business or arranged marriage proposals and all. The months of March and April is sensitive for monetary losses in business because of the planetary concentration in the 7th house, along with where your second lord Venus is going to be retrograde as well. The months of May, June and July is good for commercial decision. You can also end up taking some good decision which will reflect in profits, in good response in your business as well. So I would repeat, the months of May, June and July is good for your commercial decisions, research and undertaking travels. The month of August will be good for any public speaking opportunities, successful execution of important projects and networking. The months of September and October are good for spending money on travels, charities and pilgrimages. And the months of November and December are going to be filled with financial opportunities, especially for the self-employed and the freelance people. Now guys, the minute we will enter your third house, over here you will find the energy of the planet Mars. So your third lord Mars is going to be transiting till June in your 10th and the 11th house, which will empower your effort towards the goal attainment. A very bright time for performing artists, self-employed professionals, athletes, competitive exams seeker, or for standing a chance to win over any tender, contract or bidding. So again guys, because we know this thing that third house which tells about contracts, which also tells about your initiatives, your prowess, your courage. So third lord, in a way, it is definitely going to be transiting in the 10th house and the 11th house, but somehow it will make you very forceful towards the attainment of those things. And these are those houses where staying forceful somehow works in our advantage. So that is the only reason. It's a very bright time for performing artists, self-employed professionals, athletes, if you have to give any competitive exam or like for standing a chance to win over any contract, any coveted tender, contract, bidding and all. Now guys, in the month of July, your third lord, planet Mars, is going to be getting conjunct with Ketu in the 12th house, which will make you a soft target for the scams or may get you involved in any unprovoked situation where, you know, I would say that you got involved in something where being targeted, because when we talk about, you know, victim of circumstances and all, so it's the Ketu only, where you did not do something and some false allegation has been put on you. All of that is Ketu. Now that could be a case that it might be Ketu might be giving results of the deeds done by you in the past life only, but yes, you have to be a little bit careful in this month of July. Now August will definitely bring a lot of attention to you because of your own feats or actions. September, October could bring money from housing deals or more work for the self-employed professionals, and November, December may facilitate incorporation of big plans. Now, when we talk about the matters of the fourth house, definitely guys, over here you will find the energy of your ascendant lord Mercury in itself. So, I mean to say planet Jupiter. So in the fourth house, you will find the energy of the planet Jupiter in the form of the Sagittarius sign. And your fourth house this year is going to be receiving the dual aspect. Once Saturn will enter the Pisces sign, Jupiter will enter the Gemini sign. So your fourth house or the Sagittarius sign will start receiving the dual aspect. So because of which the points which I have written, this house will be receiving the dual aspect from planet Jupiter and Saturn this year, which will ensure auspicious events in the family life. Buying a vehicle, starting a mortgage, attainment of any public office. Like if you're already like aspiring politician or something, so I would say that you can actually strike a gold or things can work out in your favor. And also you could do much better close to your birthplace this year. So if you given to this opportunity and circumstances, like, and also if your fourth house is witnessing some benefic planets being placed over there, your fourth lord is not afflicted, and with this transit influence and all, I would say that you could do much better close to your birthplace this year. Now guys, coming to your fifth house, which tells about your academic interest, which tells about your like romantic love interest, spiritual austerities and all. So when we talk about the matters of your fifth house, because in your case fifth and the sixth house is being ruled by the same planet Saturn, so your fifth lord will transit to the seventh house on March 30th, which will ensure success in the matters of love marriage. Students will perform good in their academic matters. Those trying to establish themselves as a spiritual creators will get platform or public acceptance. Also a very good year for actors, artists whose career is going to be getting launched this year. So I will summarize it. So the points which I have written with this entry of your fifth lord in your seventh house, the very first thing is that fifth house is the house of the romance. Fifth lord going in the seventh house, this could also materialize this year. Your romance, love affair can also materialize in the marriage. Students who have to write any competitive exam, it's a very good year for that. And also when I say that, because these days there's a like lot of people, like some of those people who have been in a very good corporate job, now even they are like becoming a full-time spiritual coach, spiritual influencer. So I would say that if this is what you are aspiring for, next year will definitely give you the right set of platform and the public acceptance is going to be very fast. Along with that guys, I mentioned this thing, a very good year for actors, artists, especially those who have to get launch pad, who have to debut in this year. Now guys, moving ahead, now when we talk about the matters of the sixth house, which tells about your health, which tells about the competitive situation, debt, credit, loans, all of that we see from the sixth house, your fighting spirit. Now definitely guys, in this house this year, Rahu is going to be coming over here. And guys, if I were to summarize, out of all the planets, for Saturn to be in the Pisces is an average placement. Jupiter in the Gemini is not at all in a friendly sign, but it's the Rahu only in this year which is in the best of its state. best of its dignity. So because of which Rahu's presence here will completely revolutionize your work life with many innovative opportunities. Those who will be appearing for any competitive exam will perform better and a strong chance of winning over any lawsuit. So in so many ways, Rahu's presence over here will definitely have got lot of things in store for you, lot of surprises. The positive one, which will definitely revamp the way you conduct your job. We always say this thing, guys, that if you have to see someone's work ethics, work style, we always get that information from the 6th house. So Rahu's entry over here will definitely is going to be revamping the whole thing. Now when we talk about the matters of your 7th house, over where you will find the energy of the Pisces, and Jupiter is going to be like Jupiter is the Lord here, and Saturn is going to be coming over here. So guys, 7th house, which tells about your marriage, which tells about your business interest, which also tells about your public dealing, your public image, attainment of high position, uch pad. So the points which I have written for you, that Saturn's formal entry here will facilitate some big business platforms, launchpad or establishment. Like let's say for example, you have been working as an influencer, as a freelance, self-employed, you have a small shop, you have a small setup. Now you have been thinking that, okay, now my business is growing, I need some extra hands, I need to build a team, I need to rent some office, rent some space. So this is a good year for all of that, for establishing and setting up a proper system for your business, for your offering, for your services. This year seems to be very good for that. So Saturn's formal entry here will facilitate some big business platforms, launchpads or establishments. It's generally the results of all that you have endured so far when Saturn was transiting in your 6th house from the past 2.5 years. So yes guys, whatsoever you have struggled, you have done for your community, for people around you, your maternal uncles, your family and all. So now is the time for where Saturn will reward you for all the hardship which you have been facing from the past 2.5 years in a form of, like getting good business, commercial opportunities and all. Along with that guys, when we talk about the prospects of the marriage as well, so again guys, we all know this thing that Saturn somehow slows down things. In your case, your 7th lord is also going to be transiting in the 10th house this year. So I would say that the energy of this year is much more good and better for the career prospects, for people to do very good who are in the public service, public domain and all. But when we talk about the prospects and concerns of the marriage, definitely Saturn might slow down things, or unless and until your running dashas are not very favorable, you have to keep on putting consistent efforts, because Saturn is going to slow down. And even in the transit, Jupiter is not aspecting your 7th house. So I would say this thing that the best of the golden opportunity or the time will come in 2026. The yoga will be generated then. But again, even after that, if your running dashas are very favorable, it can still trigger that. But based on the transit of the planets, I'm leaning more towards commercial success getting generated more strongly out of your 7th house, and the prospects of marriage getting materialized this year seems to be of mediocre possibility, where you have to keep on putting efforts. Now guys, once we will reach your 8th house, which is the house of research, which is the house of unearned income, joint resources and all sort of sudden unpredictable situation and issues. So in the matters of your 8th house for this year, the 8th house is not receiving much external interference from other planets, like in a way the aspect and all, because whatever 8th house could have done for you, I would say this thing that it could have done at a time when Saturn was giving its 3rd aspect and other planets were influencing it. But now in this year, the 8th house is not receiving much external interference from other planets, which is a good news. 8th lord's transit to the 10th and the 11th house in the first 6 months will definitely keep you occupied with many adventures and challenges at your workplace. So again guys, a lot of the results of the 8th house you can somehow correlate and tally with the way I mentioned the transit of Mars when I was explaining your 3rd house related attributes. But yes guys, pertaining to the matters of the 8th house, I'm not seeing much of the interference, but yes, at your work front, the 8th lord's journey in your like 10th house, 11th house, somehow this aggression, frustration or restlessness will only drive you more strongly, vehemently towards the attainment of your goals. Now when we reach your 9th house, definitely guys, in the 9th house you will find the energy of the planet Venus in the form of the Taurus sign over there. So the points which I have written pertaining to the matters of the 9th house, which tells about higher wisdom, learning, travels, visa, immigration and your relationship with your father. So this house will be receiving the 3rd aspect of the planet Saturn from March 30th, which might pose delays in the matters of higher studies, visa, immigration documentation, and could strain the relationship with father or mentors as well. So that means this is one such area which will demand a lot of consistent, diligent, hard work. Proper documentation and preparation needs to be done in the matters of any long distance foreign travels. And guys, the specific months. So in the months of January, February, your 9th lord is going to be transiting in a friendly sign in the 6th house and then getting exalted in the 7th house, which is good for expecting support from seniors or progressing at work due to luck supporting you. The months of March and April is sensitive for sudden breakdown and crisis situation because of the planetary concentration in the 7th house along with retrograde 9th lord like planet Venus. The months of May, June and July is good for commercial decisions, research and undertaking travels. August will be good for any public speaking opportunities, successful execution of important projects and networking. September and October are good for spending money on travels, charities and pilgrimages. November and December are going to be filled with financial opportunities, especially for the self-employed and the freelancers. Now guys, the minute we will come to your 10th house, which is the actual house of your actions, of your public image, your relationship with the authority figures and all, and how much of the launch pad and kind of career opportunities you will get. 11th house is the result of that. 10th house is when you actually are working on some important projects. So in the matters of your 10th house, definitely guys, the entry of the Jupiter, formal entry of Jupiter in this house after May 13th will open many doors of opportunities for you. You will be consulted for your opinions at work. Past efforts will be rewarded and you will get the chance to work on some of the most promising career projects this year. And I'm saying that in combination with looking at your 6th house, looking at your 7th house and looking at your 10th house. Now guys, moving to your 11th house. We know this thing that in your 11th house you will find the energy of the planet Moon in the form of the Cancer. So that means those 2.5 days when transiting Moon is going to be getting conjunct with these slow moving big planets, it will be triggering some event for you, and that we will try to understand over here. So this year on daily basis you will experience major shift when your 11th lord or the transiting Moon is going to be getting conjunct with Jupiter in your 10th house after May 13th. So those 2.5 days after May 13th, when transiting Moon is going to be conjunct with Jupiter, you can expect some good news and some new ideas at the work, or being very optimistic, motivated to put efforts at work. Conjunction with Saturn in your 7th house after March 30th. So those 2.5 days after March 30, when Moon is going to be conjunct with Saturn in your 7th house, will be mostly flavored with business ideas, opportunities, or this could be stress on the account of marriage. Conjunction with Rahu in your 6th house after May 18th, those 2.5 days will invoke thoughts of gaining a competitive edge over your competitors. And conjunction with Ketu in your 12th house after May 18th, those 2.5 days will be highly spiritual, intuitive, and might prove out to be a little bit expensive. And lastly guys, coming to the attributes of your 12th house, which tells about the foreign residentship, enlightenment, moksha, out of the body experiences. So the points which I have written over here, Ketu is going to be entering over here in your 12th house after May 19th. So that means Ketu's entry here will open the metaphysical doors of spiritual elevation for you. All those past wounds and traumas which you are holding up, it will definitely start that rejuvenation, letting go and purification process in your favor. And definitely guys, there are like going to be those days when when your 12th lord sun is going to be either in the months of May, when it is going to be transiting in its own house in the 12th house, or in the months of August and September when it is going to be getting exalted in the 8th house. Those are going to be the times when your spiritual intuitive faculties will be working with the best of their capabilities. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.